when we are talking about integration, I think we should look at the USA. Those people had a smart way of doing things. First of all, they have the House of Representatives, where voting is by population. The more numbers you have, the more delegates you have. But they also had a Senate where they smartly said, no, whether you are a big province or a smaller one, you must have equal senators. Very smart, because you see, Rhode Island with 300,000 people has got 2 senators. California, I think, has got more than 50 million people or something, has got 2 senators. You see how smart they were. Because they wanted to overcome the issue of those territorial rivalries. So yes, the House of Representatives numbers, but whatever the House of Representatives passes will not become law unless it is approved by the forum of the states on equal basis. Very interesting. So even here, when we are talking about integration, because otherwise, if you mishandle integration, it can backfire. I think this is really both in your area and in my area. It is both an issue of strategy, but also an issue of legality. So in the integration, I would want to challenge the intellectuals, and including the lawyers, which are the matters that should be for integration, and which are the ones which should remain local. For instance, land. I don't think land should ever be a federal matter, because that will divert us, will cause unnecessary arguments. It should always remain either a state matter or even, in our cases, it is a district matter. All these issues you should think about them. What should be East African? What should remain country? What should go lower? Then you'll have people comfortable. Me, because I am a wealth creator, what I want from East Africa, first and foremost, is a market. To buy my milk, buy my beef, buy my bananas, buy my whatever I'm selling. The market, integrating the market. Then we can add other things, slowly, but carefully. So I'm therefore very happy that you came for these seminars. These seminars will help us to discuss, so that we come and brainstorm and bring up this issue, bring up that issue. So I'm really very happy. Hongera sana kuja kwenye majadiliano haya. Mungu awabariki. Thank you.
I urge our distinguished judicial officers, while making your decisions, don't forget about our context, the historical conditions. Our traditions are also very important. Many times, because of our Western education, we undermine our traditions as a cake. But as a practicing lawyer, I've witnessed cases where an accused person has changed his plea on account of the strength of traditional beliefs. We have also to think about the institutions that support the judiciary. The judiciary is not in isolation. It is part of the whole government system. And of course, the social forces. Your Excellency, you are the only member of the East African Summit here. I've had pleas for independence. I believe today you will provide assurance that you will continue to provide conditions that guarantee that questions in dispute can be fairly and reasonably decided. Thank you very much.
Your Excellency, the President of the Republic of Uganda, when I look around, you're the only surviving leader of the three of you who caused the revival of the East African community. I think God has left you around for a very big purpose, part of which is being seen, the unprecedented expansion of the communities from 3 to 7 countries in the Interlacustrine region. I do not wish to speak about the other things, the power of having one economic bloc, and so on and so forth, the unity that comes, the peace that results from it. Your Excellency, I want to speak about my constituency. That is the judiciary of the member states and the judiciary of the community. I appeal to the leaders of the community to ensure that we have in each member state a robust and effective judiciary that can give meaning to the unity that comes with a community. In equal measure, a robust and effective judiciary, the East African Court of Justice, to ensure that it can effectively exercise its mandate of interpreting the community treaty and ensuring that the rule of law prevails in the community.
Your Excellency, under the theme Transforming Access to Justice in the EAC, as we make strides to integration, we need to ensure systematic and coordinated dispensation of justice at both the national and regional levels. It's our obligation under Article 126 to enhance cooperation in legal and judicial matters through harmonization of legal trainings and certification, standardization of judgments of courts, and publication of law reports for jurisprudential purposes. Your Excellency, this area is not working as we should. Indeed, within the East African community, the architects and surveyors are quite ahead in their standardization. The legal profession is still a bit slow in harmonization. Consequently, a number of the citizens within the region are unable to either study or practice effectively in the different regions. So it's an area we undertake to handle together with my colleagues.
Your Excellency, the theme of this conference, which is transforming access to justice in the East African community, is geared towards moving towards what we call diplomatic justice. It's listening to people more, encouraging people to listening as disputes and trying to see whether we could have alternative ways of resolving disputes in our region. And that would be one way of trying to look for local solutions to our challenging, Your Excellency. The community is expanding, Your Excellency. This year, as a summit, you admitted DRC as the seventh partner states. And you further directed the Council and Secretariat to expedite admission of Somalia. Your Excellency, I want to report through the Council that I was able to interact with His Excellency President Hassan Sheikh of Somalia this week. And they're very much committed to join the East African community. They have already put a team in place that will be working with all of us to ensure that Somalia joins.
May I kindly request the Honorable Justice Nestor Kayobera, the President of the East African Court of Justice, to come and make his remarks.
We appeal to the EAC Chair Council of Ministers, who has been with us since the beginning of our conference, and more specifically to you, Your Excellency, the President and member of the Summit of the Heads of State, to take this matter in your hands in finalizing this bill, which has been for 6 years in place, because this one we assist the citizen of East Africa. The court budget needs to be relooked at. Sufficient budget allocation will enable the court to effectively and efficiently administer justice to the East Africans and to contribute to the regional integration by ensuring adherence to justice, the rule of law, and the fundamental rights and the freedoms in accordance to the treaty. EAC partner states need to understand that the role of the court is a key for the maintenance and achievement of a political and a socio-economic development for any community.
IDLO has been a proud partner of East African judiciaries since 2009, with programs to support the justice sector in Kenya, Rwanda, South Sudan, Tanzania, Burundi, and Uganda. We have ongoing work in Kenya, Rwanda, Somalia, and Uganda, and I would like to express my thanks to the judiciaries of these partner countries for their leadership and support. This year's gathering also convenes Chief Justices from IGAD member states that are not part of the East African community. It is through partnerships and exchanges like these that we will be able to advance our common objective of ensuring access to justice for all by making judicial systems more inclusive, accessible, effective, and efficient.